What is the capacity that you are trying to reach with this? What capacity are you all looking?
Or more space you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, the capacity to accommodate how many pets?
So if you could go back to that graph where we originally showed.
Well, you don't have to go back to
Okay.
it, if you could just
Sure,
talk to it.
sure.
Share.
So when our new facility was built, it was designed for 241
Right,
dog kennels. At that time already, it was not meeting the needs.
Right.
We built a shelter because that's what we had, and but even at the time, it was meeting the capacity. Fast forwarded to now,
right,
it's way over capacity. So 221 kennels, dogs alone in the building right now are over 600. That's not counting the cats.
I understand.
So way over capacity. And the shelter right now they are euthanizing now for space because we don't have anywhere to put these animals. So it's
I understand.
yeah.
So are you looking for a facility to hold 600 or 1,000, or just wanted to get some frame of what capacity of the location that you're looking?
Go ahead.
Let me just add to what Sonali has said. I don't think we know what the capacity needs are at this moment in time. That's why we need to conduct a study to evaluate that.
Okay,
But the number of animals we have in this community are going to be a direct function of the number of people we have in this community. And we have a robust economic development program underway in Dekalb now. We're trying to build better, stronger, and as we engage and invite more people into Dekalb, we're going to have more animals as well.
okay,
So
okay, thank
we
you.
need to conduct that study first.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I will be brief because Commissioner Davis Johnson has to leave. And so first and foremost, I wanted to thank our advisory board for being here and all of our animal advocates, and really applaud you guys for showing up again and again and again in your red shirts, and I have my red suit on in honor of that today. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Second, I also would like to thank Mr. Williams and Nicole, because we made a surprise visit to the shelter a couple weeks ago as we were thinking through some potential solutions to solve this crisis and in the immediate, mid, and long term. And so just for clarification purposes, the shelter, the old shelter to the new shelter, the new shelter was basically built at same capacity, right?
Correct. The
Okay.
number of kennels did not increase.
Okay, and I think that's what Commissioner Davis Johnson is trying to understand, is that to solve this crisis, how many are needed. But it's great to hear that we're doing a study to really ascertain what the true need is. And we certainly appreciate in the future, very, very near future, to reviewing what has already been sent to us, and then also any new data-informed documentation that you can pass along. And so I yield back to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner, and Commissioner Mary Johnson.
Yes, thank you so much, Madam Chair. I didn't wear red because I knew y'all were wearing red. I just had red on today. But just wanted to add, I was here when we were dealing with the old shelter by the jail. That was one of the worst shelters we've ever seen. I introduced the task force resolution for Sonali and Ms. Nugent to start the process for us to build this new shelter we are in. And I am glad to see that the study is underway to see how we can look at building the capacity and welfare for our next generation of owners and people who are moving here. I just had a couple of questions that, Sonali, you may not be able to answer, but Mr. Williams can help. One is on page 12. It talks about $1.8 million of cost of care. Is that just beginning in 21, 22, or
So
they just?
we just took all the open cases,
Okay,
starting from 2021, all the cases that are still active, that are still open. And then we took all the number of animals within those cases, and since their intake date, how many days they've been in the system, and we multiplied that by, what was it, $30-something?
Right, so it's,
$35,
so that's really, if I said 1.8 times 3 years, this is 3 years, this is 1.8 million per year, and
For
then
all
you
the
get
open
3
cases right now, that's how much we've spent,
in 2 years or just 1 year?
since, yeah. Well, no, some of the open cases go all the way up to.
I'm just trying to see how much uncompensated care that we provided for as the county. Is it close to $3 million, you think?
Probably.
Okay, so I wanna make sure that we get that down, that's part of, what
That's a
we're.
conservative number, because we
Right.
didn't even count all the
It's just a
cases that
lot.
closed,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
The other one is on page 5, and then you'll get onto your new goals. One of it said, higher number of cases related to lower resource areas. And I see some of the, and this just asked the question for me, Zach, is how are the laws that we currently have, how's it impacting lower resource areas? Because I see in the new goals from the committee, they're asking to have a bond put on. They're asking about also other resources. But I need to find out how the laws are impacting the lower resource areas that's allowing them to, because a lot of them won't be able to post bond or provide the type of care that we're doing. I just want to make sure how our laws, in terms of parity, equity, how they are being looked at. So if we're doing this study, I would like to make sure that we include a part of the study to look at how these laws impact lower resource areas. And then what are we doing? Because we're trying to do no bail, no bond for folks who are low income already. And I don't want to put another undue hurdle on folks who are lower resource already when they can't afford to pay. How would they be able to pay a bond or a fee if their animal is in there? So those type of things, you can